Greeting, what's up with y'all? It's your highness at Rastafari Realness on Instagram. I am Rastafari's Realness and give thanks for His Majesty, the Almighty Power Source, the Light Shiner, the King of Confidence, the King of the Blacks, Emperor Haile Selassie I, Jah Rastafari, and to Her Royal Highness Empress Wazoro Menin by his side. Forming the union, giving I the example, and we're gonna move forward. This is spiritual wickedness in high places, man. This is episode 5. If you're unaware of what it is, the show is it's a serious minded show, man. This is serious times. We're not jits anymore. We're not children, and for our children, you know what I'm saying, our daughters and our sons, we want to be the best we can be to guide them. So and all the jits in the world that's around you, you know what I'm saying, regardless. You want to do the best you can is to just provide some type of guidance to them. So we got to look at this shit for what it is. This is a serious experience. So in saying all that, the purpose of the show is to bring you up to the real and bring you into the mind of the orchestrator. We're living in a social construct. That's not a really even a big of a negative thing. It's just the facts of the matter. The real problem lies is the minds that's behind the construct. You know what I'm saying? There is a mind frame behind the construct, and we can look at the value system of that particular mind frame and entity and vibration, and we can sum up and get to the agenda and what forces they're using to accomplish the agenda. You know what I'm saying? So we bring you into the mind of the orchestrator. This episode 5, spiritual wickedness in high places, inspired by the verse coming out the scripts in Ephesians. Go check that out. We're going against principalities, you know what I'm saying, of darkness and spiritual wickedness in high places. So you gotta know what you're up against so you can know what type of energy to employ, you know what I'm saying, and then deploy on that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? So let's get into it, man. We got a lot of shit that don't happen since last time, man. Yeah, I definitely want to say, y'all, if y'all don't know, just real quick, go look into Stitch the Runway Fashion Show 2026. We Still Them People is coming up this November. Model Call 1 was a success. You can go follow my queen lady. She, know what I'm saying, the brainchild behind it and the whole orchestrator of that. You know what I'm saying, like the essence bringer. You know what I'm saying, at the Crochet Lady 717. So that's at TheCrochetLady 717 on Instagram and Facebook is coming up. We got the Model Call 2 coming up right now. We in August right now, that Roman Gregorian calendar, according to that time frame, 2026. And we're gonna keep pushing because it's coming up on the horizon. Y'all check that out. Documentary already rolling. The Crochet Lady 717 on Instagram and Facebook. But we here, man, and y'all go check out that Bay Vets. We got that series Bay Vets. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know we got a couple of vets don't touch down on that bitch. You know what I'm saying? We got Rocket Rod and that bitch DJs. We got Eminem DJs. We got more vets to come. We already on deck. We got another vet we about to drop this week. You know what I'm saying? That's up in the Bay. There's some Bay shit. If you don't know, you know what I'm saying? We in the Bay. You know what I'm saying? This is Tampa. This is Florida. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So old school Bay shit, the Lady Foundation, Bay Vets. You know what I'm saying? That was popping off in them 90s. You know what I'm saying? 80s, them 90s, them 2000s. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, man, spiritual wickedness high place. Let's get to the show. There's a lot of shit that don't transpire since last year that don't took place. You know what I'm saying? I took a step back, honestly. Just I'm looking at this shit. I'm not trying to do this shit just for no clicks and likes and shit like that. It's just really just staking your claim and what you're supposed to be doing in the earth and the works. You know what I'm saying? And due to the fact that we have the video technology, we can utilize this and spread the thought across the whole net much as we can to inspire people to step up and be their best selves and just go for theirs and just break through the fear, break through the chains, you know what I'm saying, of ignorance and fear. So last time, one thing I definitely want to touch on that's something that's real hot right now, of course, still going on. The war between Iran and the U.S. and Revelation chapter 2, verse 9, and Revelation chapter 3, verse 9, boys, you know what I'm saying? So as of late, if you don't know, since the last time we touched on, one thing I want to touch on, like what you're dealing with the beast is the beast that is, but it's not, but is, but yet is, you know what I'm saying? Again, the beast that is, but it's not, but yet is. You know what I'm saying? So this the shit that's going on right in your face, but it's not, but it is, you know. So um, last time that before I left off the last episode, which was about a month ago, you know what I'm saying. But after that, the Iran and the USAA had came to a MOU. If you want to aware with that, that was the MOU. That was supposed to be called the Memorandum of Understanding. It was really called the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding. It was between the United States and the Islamic Republic of Iran. You know what I'm saying? It was drafted on June 14th, and it was publicly signed by on June 17th by both President Trump of the U.S., of course, and then we got President Masoud Pezeshkian of Iran. They both signed it on the 17th. You know, you can see that shit online. They doing it, so you know, supposedly. So, and the MOU is a public document. You can go look up the official MOU between Iran and U.S. and it's a public document. So, you know, if anybody want to see exactly what it states, it's plain and open right there, according to at least what they're giving us publicly. They saying it's the same thing. But off top, man, when I looked into it, the report showed that off top, U.S. violated the agreement in respects to particularly Article 1, which it states immediate and permanent ceasefire on all fronts, including Lebanon. Territorial integrity of Lebanon guaranteed. So, of course, the Revelation chapter 2, verse 9, and the U.S. are allies. So, when the memorandum of understanding was signed, and then them Israeli boys are still bombing and killing a lot of the Lebanese people. They framing the other thing that these are Hezbollah, because they know what I'm saying, who they fighting against, Hezbollah, like cells, and they hiding over here and there. But if you look at it, they're doing the same thing. The effects, if you study the imagery of what's going on, looking like the Gaza shit. They flattening a lot of this shit. They got reports of the Israeli soldiers laughing, joking, like it's media out them talking about they bragging on killing people. They flattening the land. They burning down houses, flattening the ground so the people can't come back to their homes. So they taking southern part of Lebanon. So even after the MOU was signed, they still was over there fighting. So they violated. I know some people are gonna be like, well, hey, that's the Revelation chapter 2 verse 9, boys. That's not the U.S., but they allies. They working together. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is on that. Hold on. My bad. I got that shit up there. But anyway, so they working together on that shit. So uh, also, so that they broke that Article 1. Another thing they violated. Um, the U.S., when I looked into it, when you just look at the timetable, the U.S. started conducting strikes against Iran and publicly labeled them as defensive strikes. I don't want to get into like, oh, they just need to stop, because it's just an insult on our intelligence, and really, they just saying whatever. We know that. They basically was attacking Iran, and then of course Iran retaliated and publicly condemned the U.S. for violating the MOU again, because it states that as well. The war was supposed to stop on all fronts, and then the U.S. to start popping off on them. This is on record too. This is public knowledge. This is what the fuck happened. You know what I'm saying? So, also later Trump came out and stated that the MOU, well, it was over. He said that shit there over, it don't count no more. And he began to consistently attack Iran again. You know what I'm saying? And then, from there, Iran started, you know what I'm saying, attacking back, basically retaliating. They were doing like the tit, they wasn't know the tit for tat shit. They were doing that shit, going back and forth. They start striking U.S. bases in Jordan, and they actually was doing a lot of damage. Killing a lot of U.S. soldiers, injuring a lot of U.S. soldiers. You know what I'm saying? Just recently, the Pentagon had to come out and say it was 600 plus casualties, and even how they define these things, like, being severely injured could be a casualty in some definition reports. I saw how it's framed. So it's all about how the system design and how you function. You make your system to function according to what you're doing. But they came out, so it was like 600 casualties. It's even more than that. And this shit has been talked about as well with a lot of other like media sources, with real journalism that's going on. It's not corrupted by like a big corporate conglomerate behind it. Motherfuckers on the ground saying shit was going on, and it's coming from more than one place. People was like, yo, a lot of U.S. soldiers are getting killed and hurt, and and the crackers just hiding it. You know what I'm saying? But again, this is what they do. You have to accept. This is also showing you have to accept that there are liars. They're professional liars and deceivers. You cannot trust them and take them for what they say. They're swindling you. They're swindlers. You know what I'm saying? So it's not to be like, oh, that's so fucked up. It's the reality. It's the isness. So look at it for what it is and deal with it accordingly. You know what I'm saying? Stop putting your trust in this shit. it's not rooted in some good soil. It's rooted in the fucked up shit. You know what I'm saying? So if you fuck with fucked shit, you're gonna get fucked shit. So you gotta start to distance yourself from what it is. We're gonna talk more about that later, you know what I'm saying? But so the US was lying about that. Now they coming out saying like 600 more, and they framed it to be like, well, it's because of the operation had ended and another operation started, so that don't really count towards this or that. When you know just from saying that shit alone, you already know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't gonna even get into all that. You know what I'm saying? And also I've been saying there's been consistent rumors of the U.S. Holding a ground invasion against Iran. You know, possibly they were saying one of the islands in the Strait of Hormuz up in the Persian Gulf. You know, whether it's Karg, Keshem. Of course, if this the case, like for me, it seemed foolish because they've been talking about this shit hard for like the last like on and off like 2 to 3 months about the U.S. gonna do a ground invasion on Iran. They possibly take Harg Island. They can do the Keshem, and they bombed Keshem actually too. That was one of the points, and they reportedly killed the family there, some people there. So, but you publicizing this, like, why would you publicize that this was exactly what you're gonna go to your opposition? That don't make any sense. So for that reason alone, I tend to think that that probably won't happen. Or if it does, they're using that shit as a front and say, oh, because you're just telling them, oh, we're gonna do this, and you might come a whole nother way. That might be a strategy that the crackers got. But from what they're saying, for what it's worth, it's just foolish because obviously if people out here talking about it, you saying that Iran is obviously aware of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Some analysts are saying that Iran is actually attempting to lure the U.S. in so they can destroy their motherfucking ass. They want to shed them soldiers' blood. Of course, you got to look at it. The shit that the U.S. and them Revelation chapter 2 verse 9 boys, the shit that they did to Iran. You know what I'm saying? Just one of the most popular things is, you know, the girls' school and school of Mendem. It was a girls' school at the beginning, which they reportedly showed. A lot of reports are saying that it was a Tomahawk missile. They had like images of the residue. They had people on the ground talking. It was like it was a Tomahawk missile. It was credible too because they started saying, like, oh well, Iran had a Tomahawk because of this, that, and that. Maybe they did it to themselves. So just from the girls' school and killing them children, like they want to kill the U.S. So they want to fuck them up. Look at right now at the late. Ayatollah Khamenei funeral that just happened. They was, you know what I'm saying, them motherfuckers was saying death to the beast. You know what I'm saying? So Trump gotta die. They were saying shit like that. So that was reports. They had like, you know, had him in a coffin. So no, they don't really like people over here like Trump's good, but they think it's straight. But people in the other countries, because of what happened to them, they look at that shit totally opposite. You know what I'm saying? Like they really mean what they saying. So a lot of people think they're trying to lure the troops in so they can take out a lot of their anger and vengeance on the shit that the U.S. did to them and caused them. Of course, and also Iran been going through this shit for like decades. As if you look into the history, but I'm just talking about the recent events right now. If you look into the history in relation to the countries, and you can look how all of the bases in Southwest Asia was laced. You know what I'm saying? I mean, no, yeah, Southwest Asia was laced. They surrounded Iran. Like that's why Iran built them underground facilities and tunnels and weapons because they knew they prepared and they knew it was inevitable. You know what I'm saying? Like so that's what's going on with that. So that's just stupid. That's just maybe they're trying to bait their ass if they can kill them. So a lot of people also are saying right now that, you know, Iran has a nuclear weapon. Iran, people, it's a lot of course, if they do, it's not publicly known, you know what I'm saying? And me, from my angle, I'm just looking at the reports of what's going on and trying to relate it to what's going on in the world. There's a lot of reports, people saying they already got the motherfucking nuclear. And they just waiting for the right time. If a bitch trying out with that bullshit, they're going to pull that bitch out. They pretty much faced with some nuclear against the wall because all this shit tying in to a larger war, a larger scale, and we're going to touch more on that too. So there's reports of them saying they already got nuclear. I mean, who knows? It wouldn't be far-fetched to see because a bitch see like it's inevitable that these crackers want to kill us. You from their angle, you like, bitch, we gotta, nah, bitch, we gonna go out. We gotta go out like this. You know what I'm saying? So I think that shit could possibly be true. You know, what's really coming to it, really, I want to touch on is the Western world, the Western superiority complex. The Western superiority complex really is its greatest weakness because a lot of people, so they underestimated them. And, you know, like a lot of the people in the U.S. and as far as like in positions of power and intelligence, these people are not stupid. You know what you're saying? Like, far as just processing thoughts and putting the real in your face. Like they know what's really going on. They just try to enforce their will because they think they just are better. And they have again, they have this complex like they just above you. They better than you. So they not stupid. They just gonna do the extra shit to make sure they get their way. You know what I'm saying? Like because at the same time this is real life. So that's their greatest weakness though. That superiority complex is their greatest weakness. You know what I'm saying? They vainly puffed up their minds to think that everybody, they're just simply better than everyone else. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ain't on their level. They vainly puff their shit up like they just high. Nobody ain't on their level and shit. You know what I'm saying? But this is a falsified train of thought. As in real life, they obtain their now present status through lying, killing, brutality, and cowardly actions. So that's why I mean that they can hype up in their mind like this, but in real life, they know what they did. So they can say it, but they know what they did to do it. They did a lot of slick, cowardly shit. You know what I'm saying? Tricking bitches, have one hand out in the front, other hand behind their back. Shit like that's where you think they get all that shit from. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Iran seems to be playing the West off of this. That's the strategy I think Iran is employing. A lot of people look at Iran like Iran got the strategy. I figure, Iran's ultimate strategy is playing the West off of their greatest weakness. They playing the West off of that superiority complex. They playing them off of that because even though these crackers know what they are, this the thing about vanity and arrogance. You know what I'm saying? Like you can know the real, but you can convince yourself because you have the power to do anything. You know what I'm saying? The almighty power source has given us as human the power to do anything, like free reign. So you can really start playing into it because you live in a reality in your first person view existence. You doing shit on this domain you have. So the arrogance and the vanity, even though they know what they're doing, they still they twist it in their mind because they are lacking to make them feel special, and they use that, but they're committing wicked, lustful acts of vanity and destruction, like some real like sicko shit. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? So that shit blinds them at the same time. So Iran know that, and I feel that they playing them. That's their biggest strategy, playing the West off of their superiority complex, so they can get them to get fucked up, and they can do what they gotta do. That's the strategy, really. You know what I'm saying? Another thing that don't came into the fold, Ansar Allah, also known as the Houthis of Yemen, they don't came into the shit. They don't strategically enter the battle. You know what I'm saying? Saudi Arabia and them going into it. What I looked into, I didn't even know this shit. Like because when I saw that, and what it was, the Bab el Mandeb, yeah, the Bab el Mandeb Strait in the Red Sea. Like they put a blockade on Saudi Arabia. But when I looked into it, and a lot of people was talking about the history of what was going on, because a lot of that shit is tied to like history of recent and going back to like decades to, or even to like over 100 years. You can even go back further than that, but we talking about more in recent times. So there's a lot of shit been playing out on these places with these lands with these generations of people. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit's passed on. So they had a blockade. I'm saying all that. Saudi Arabia had a blockade on Yemen since like I think around 2015, and it was like it was a great famine in Yemen. It was like bitches couldn't get no food, barely selling like gas and fuel on the, you know what I'm saying, the quote unquote underground market. You know what I'm saying, just to get money. You know, like they was fucked up. So the Houthis looked at this shit like, boom. They looked at it and they was patiently waiting. They knew they was gonna do some shit. They patiently waiting. The Houthis, you know what I'm saying, they have a relationship out in the open with Iran because between them, Iran and Hezbollah, you know what I'm saying, I think sometimes people even do Hamas, but between them three factions, they call them the axis of resistance. So the axis of resistance, they resisting who? You're resisting a bitch trying you. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. You ain't gotta resist a bitch, like get off bitch. Unless a bitch coming at you, so you're resisting the fuck shit. The axis of resistance. So they have relations, but they patiently waited. They seemingly picked the perfect time to jump in. You know what I'm saying? As they reacted to the attacks reportedly made by Saudi Arabia on Sanaa's airport runway. Yemen stated that Saudi Arabia wanted to prevent an Iranian plan from landing. You know what I'm saying? And it's perfect because Saudi can't utilize the Strait of Hormuz as well right now, as far as like the timing. So what had happened was they said it was some Iranian delegations on this plane. It was a commercial plane with just, regular motherfuckers on there. They was for the land in Sanaa's airport, and they said Saudi Arabia reportedly attacked the runway. It was reported also that they was returning back from Khamenei's funeral, you know what I'm saying, the last supreme leader of Iran, which the crackers, you know what I'm saying, murdered at the beginning of the war, you know what I'm saying. So they was coming back and they did that. So Yemen was like, man, we tired of these bitches. Right now, y'all fucked up because the Strait of Hormuz are already closed off. So they was like, it's time to put that siege on their ass. So they're trying to take advantage of the moment, and it's strategically putting pressure on the West, because if you know Saudi Arabia's relations with the West, you know what I'm saying, you just go look into that. It's that shit like this, you know what I'm saying. So also, they can't use the other option in the Red Sea, you know what I'm saying, with the Strait. So they immediately retaliated, and like I say, announced a blockade once they did that, and Bab el Mandeb Strait in the Red Sea against Saudi commercial vessels. They have reportedly bombed some of the vessels who defied their orders already. Some Saudi Arabian vessels tried to go through that shit like, man, these bitches ain't finna do shit. The boy lit their ass up. You know what I'm saying? Like, bitch, we not fucking playing. So, you know, they've been going back and forth for a minute, you know what I'm saying, too. Because after that, most people are unaware of saying that, like I was saying earlier, Saudi imposed blockade of Yemen, since 2015. It's an air, sea, and land blockade, and it started with Saudi warships in Yemeni waters, which many attribute to the great humanitarian crisis and famine in Yemen since then. You know what I'm saying, like from what the Saudi been doing. So, and also reportedly claiming hundreds of thousands of deaths due to so. The U.S. Navy also actively participated in the naval blockade in the beginning with Saudi and the Yemen. So again, people are unaware, because people, especially in the West, people just in a bubble. There's a lot of shit been going on in the world. There's so much shit going on in the world. And you look up, you're like, man, why these bitches trying to, they bullshitting? No, bitch, it's shit going on. You just don't know about it. You just unaware of what's going on, and most people have no desire to seek knowledge. You know what I'm saying? That's why the scriptures say, seek and ye shall find, but people are not even interested in seeking. So you're gonna stay in the dark, and you reacting a lot of time because of your personal life getting affected, or you blow because you getting this shit throwing your world off. You know what I'm saying? That's what we talking about the rooted in the selfishness and the vanity. Open your eyes, get educated, break the motherfucking shackles off your motherfucking brain, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's going on. So now reportedly Saudi Arabia from there has attacked Iraq's Popular Mobilization Forces. They also, of course, the acronym PMF, the Popular Mobilization Forces, which are not, and they're not an independent organization on its merit, but rather it's a part of the Iraqi government forces. So the Popular Mobilization Forces, this which is used to be on the open, supposed to be dealt with somewhere Iran, like a part of the act, doing a level of axis of resistance, but now officially they're tied into the Iraq government. You know what I'm saying? So this is like basically like, you can just say the Iraqi army. They just attacked them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So they claim that the attacks were U.S. backed. You know what I'm saying? The new prime minister of Iraq is now facing a lot of pressure, as he just had a visit to the White House as well with Trump, and now he's getting attacked by the U.S. So you just talked to him, and now he in Saudi, because you know what I'm saying, the Saudi ain't got that shit like that. The U.S. backing all them boys. You know what I'm saying? The Saudi, they buy the shit from the U.S. defense. They buy planes, they buy gear. So they helping them do the shit. Everybody knows what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So you up there visiting him, then he turned right back around and attack him motherfucker that. You know what I'm saying? So he associated with him. So his people in Iraq are looking at his ass crazy right now. Like, what you gonna do? You just went there and then he tried you. What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So it seems he was put in place by Trump, honestly, as far as by being in position in Iraq. You know what I'm saying? He was put in place, it seems, by Trump, as Trump endorsed al-Zaidi for the job after he threatened to cut off U.S. support for Iraq. You know what I'm saying? If another candidate became the country's next prime minister. You know what I'm saying? So he endorsed him for the job because he threatened to cut off all U.S. support to Iraq if another candidate, other than the one that is now, other than the Iraq prime minister that's in office now with Iraq, if another one would have gone there, he was like, bitch, I'm cutting it. I'm cutting my shit off, you know what I'm saying, my help off it. So they pretty much put him in place, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely more going on than what we know in that whole scenario as well, you know what I'm saying? So it's all kind of shit, because now they saying that it was reports that Iran had attacked a commercial vessel in Egypt, you know what I'm saying? And then as of late, Um, right now, they were saying that the U.S. was going to do a big ass attack. They was talking about all week, like we finna attack them hard, we finna hit them hard. Trump was saying we finna. It was like an air pathway coming from like Western Europe to Southwest Asia. They was dropping off, supposed to be like moving munitions in there. So, and recently they were supposed to do that like this weekend, but they said Trump called it off, quote unquote, again. There's also reports that because they was talking about attacking Iran's energy infrastructure, like they power plants. They already was doing some bridges and some civilian shit. That's another reason why you know that you're losing. When you start doing shit like that, you can't fade them. You trying to do, oh, we did all this shit, like we blew up all that. You can't fade them. You looking weak as hell in front of everybody in the world. You can fool these crackers over here and these dumbass niggas, but in front of the rest of the world, U.S. looking weaker than a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Looking real weak. You know what I'm saying? So, like, they can't do nothing. So they were saying we're gonna bomb their power plants, really hit their energy infrastructure. And Iran already told them if the U.S. do that shit, they gonna do that to all the motherfucking GCC or other countries over there in Southwest Asia that's helping them. They told Jordan, they told UAE, they told Bahrain, Kuwait. It was like Qatar, they was like, bitch, we gonna fuck all y'all shit up, all y'all energy infrastructure up. So reportedly, they were saying that a lot of GCC countries and other countries in the area got with Trump. Was like, cuz, you need to chill. Do not do this shit because these Iranian boys, they ain't playing. When they say they gonna do shit, they do shit. So they was like, chill. That's what reportedly they said, and mainly the head of state in UAE. I think they call it MBZ. I think that's his initials of the name. That's what you know go by. So it was reportedly that he led it, like had a lot to do with it. Like, hey, you need to pull back because we can't deal with that. If we lose, if y'all hit these boys and they hit us up, our economy is fucked up. It's through. It's over. They have no chance. They already been fucked up a lot. A lot of them countries been fucked up a lot by Iran because they you know what I'm saying? They complicit. They fucking with them crackers. They helping bring terror and death to Iran now through bloodshed. So Iran like, bitch, y'all scared of the crackers. We ain't. So we gonna fuck y'all ass up because you ain't finna just be swinging on me. You supposed to be right next to me, but you helping him. Like, nah. So that's a lot of reports. That's why Trump pulled back. It wasn't just like, oh, I ain't gonna do it out of nowhere. But we talking again. They ain't been talking shit because Iran came out and said we're not doing no more motherfucking talking. There's no point. A lot of other countries even was saying too, like they need to get back to it. They already made an agreement. So if you already made an agreement, get back to the agreement because y'all the one that broke the shit. The U.S. the one that broke the shit. They were trying to frame it like, oh no, Iran broke it. They fucking with the Strait of Hormuz. They not supposed to be doing that, stopping. They already said in the MOU they retain control of the Strait of Hormuz. And a lot of times Marco Rubio was lying to us. He keep doing this story. It's international waters, international waters. It's not international waters. If you look at how it's like zoned off, like far district wise and its territorial waters for the countries, it's like half of the country of Oman and half of the country of Iran. You know what I'm saying? So it's not territory. It's not international waters. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen with this shit. I don't know. It look like the U.S. trying to do some sneaky shit, but they doing so much out in the open, playing so many cards. I don't know what it is, but this another fold that's going on right now. Ukraine don't attack one of the Iranian cargo vessels, killing a sailor. So Ukraine already at war, if you don't know, with Russia. Um, it's a lot of shit going. There's so many layers, but it seems like when I'm just looking into it, and a lot of people how they just flipping the perspective, and it makes sense that Ukraine became a part of NATO, and like a lot of people claim the U.S. is using Ukraine as a proxy through NATO, like and going against Russia, because they just sanctioned Russia again. I think they're trying to bottle up some with Iran and Russia sanctions again together, like So all of a sudden, saying all that, they've been fighting Russia for like the last 5 years plus. Um, so they attacked an Iranian cargo vessel, killing a sailor. So it's saying so. While the details of the event, it happened July 25th, a few days ago. They kind of murky, you know what I'm saying? They kind of murky when you look at it from different angles. But Ukraine's intelligence agency, the SBU, said its drones hit an oil platform in the Caspian Sea, along with a Russian missile boat and cargo ships that are under international sanctions. Again, so the Ukraine's intelligence agency, the SBU, so they hit the drones. They used some drones. They had a platform in the Caspian Sea, along with Russian missile boats and cargo ships that are under international sanctions. President Zelensky of Ukraine on Saturday, the past Saturday, announced that Ukrainian forces had achieved very good results, you know what I'm saying, and long-range strikes in the Caspian Sea, including against vessels used to transport military cargo linked to Iran. It's saying here, this is another post I looked at, so one on post on X. Zelensky had attacked an Iranian commercial vessel, killing a sailor. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Arachi said that. Yeah, it was Arachi, the Foreign Minister of Iran, said on X. That's what he said, calling it a blatant United Nations Charter violation done at Israel's behest to drag Europe into its war. That was his statement he made on X, because it seemed like now, because Iran said they're going to retaliate. So the World War III is already on the brinks. It pretty much is already here, because you can't come back. The world will never be the same. It's so much shit out in the open, so many conflicts happening. Another one is happening right now over there in the Sahel with Mali. It's supposed to be quote unquote terrorist forces that was just trying to pop up some shit in North Mali, but Mali got their ass under control. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they had some Russian help, but it was like it's still going on. So the United States telling they might get involved in Mali because it seemed like, basically they trying to say like Russia can't handle this shit. They pretty much were just saying like they still fucking y'all up, but that's not the case. So there's so much conflict and bloodshed going on. You know what I'm saying right now. You know what I'm saying? Look at the shit that happened in Sudan. It's just sad. There's so much shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Just recently, the Tigray region again in Ethiopia, there's more fighting going on. So it's so much fighting, and there's a lot of people picking the sides now too more than ever. So the distrust it's higher than ever. And even the U.S., they're gonna have to make certain moves because they don't basically came out in the open with this shit. And like they more used to hide it, and people just seeing like damn, these people don't give a damn, they just doing whatever, you know what I'm saying? So the world ain't gonna never be the same. Like World War III is already here pretty much. It's just a matter of time for this shit just unfold all the way out. Because bitch, you can't just stop out of nowhere like, oh, we just cool, we cool again. That's not gonna happen. It's a lot of tensions bubbling. People, it's gonna be more bloodshed, sadly, but this is where we at. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what they saying. So now we're seeing out in the open materialization of World War III, like I was just saying, and more and more. This all relates as how things are shaping up as Section 219, recently Section 219 of the NDAA, that's the National Defense Authorization Act, reportedly merges and expands U.S. military tech and supply chains with the IDF. If you don't know, that's Israel Defense Forces. You know what I'm saying? For the 2027 NDAA, Trump had requested an increase on the already crazy ass military budget from 900 billion up to 1.5 trillion. That's what he requested. You know what I'm saying? Cracker know. The reason why Cracker know they plan on continue to war and kill and destroy people around the globe because no one likes them. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing why people gotta say, are you gonna hinge your hook to this shit? You gonna hinge your hook? Cause motherfuckers don't like the U.S. like that, because just public relations is worse than ever been. It already was bad with other countries. Like, this ain't nothing new. Like, people outside of the U.S. been knew this shit. So I ain't saying nothing like jaw dropping when it comes to what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just another level of it in the open, and it's a good thing in a way because it forces again people to pick sides. So they trying to boost that shit up. And that's another thing. So Israel and the U.S. merging this shit in the new NDAA. Their defense basically departments, their strategies, their intelligence. That's another way that the U.S. can operate, basically like what they're doing now, but make it even official on paper. They said in Revelation chapter 3 verse 9, boys would be doing it like we not over there. That's them boys doing it. We over here, we out of there. But they really over there through them. You know what I'm saying? Because they got plans on being over there till they take all that. They want to take the whole Iran. They like, bitch, this shit ain't gonna be over. This shit could be going on for years. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's all kind of moves being made. You know what I'm saying? So also, the U.S. has seemingly used Ukraine, like I was saying, to possibly strengthen NATO against Russia. The shit didn't work, you know what I'm saying? Because now they get hit up worse than ever. And it's only a matter of time, honestly, before Russia possibly start popping off on other European nations that are manufacturing. They already saying they ready to go to war. They were saying a lot of countries, and I know British came out with a statement. Other countries in NATO, they having drone manufacturing, plants, missiles. They're gonna be ready to go full war NATO against Russia in 2029. They talking about this shit out in the open, like, bitch, we building shit right now. So I'm pretty sure, I don't even know they're gonna make it then. The person ain't gonna just let you just arm up saying, I'm gonna come when I get finished loading this shit, I'm gonna come kill you. Again, just put one and one together, man. You know what I'm saying? So, another one thing I want to touch on, because that's a whole nother shit, man. Like, y'all, that shit, they're crazy. Like, we moving on. Like, a lot of shit that happen in society. I want to touch on again what we seeing with these three examples, mostly popular cases. When we talking about this ancient battle between the blacks and the whites, man. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's reasons why. It's reasons why who's the initiator and the, know what I'm saying, and the reactor, you know what I'm saying, the aggressor, you know what I'm saying, and the person that's reacting to the aggression. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm just talking about the factually. We can get into that as another conversation of why, because there's reasons for everything. You know what I'm saying? But with the popular Carmelo Anthony case in Texas, of course, Rick Chow in South Carolina, even though he of Asian, you know what I'm saying, ethnicity, bitch, same shit when it comes to that cracker shit versus nigga. Bitch don't like niggas, bitch try niggas, you know what I'm saying, everybody know what it is. You know what I'm saying, Rick Chow, the South Carolina owner, he murdered the boy, chased the boy Cyrus Cameron Belton, 14-year-old child, to still kill him. And then recently with the Nolan Wells case, which is popularized because you know what I'm saying? It's the only nigga basically with a bunch of crackers. And they out in the water. Like, I ain't the one to tell people what to do. Everybody has their own life and how they do their lifestyle and who they rock with. You know what I'm saying? But again, just know the reality, and whatever you do, don't be deceived. You know what I'm saying? Don't be deceived by it. You know what I'm saying? So these cases are kind of like recently, you got a lot of emotional reaction, of course, on social media as anticipated. This is a broken record when it comes to a lot of shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's an ancient struggle, it's an ancient battle. You know what I'm saying? So look what happened with the Carmelo Anthony shit. He received a 35-year sentence for the defensive assault against the cracker jit that tried him. You know what I'm saying? He was, he was on the defense. He ain't just come to that bitch and just pop up in it, according to reports, pop in the tent like trying bitches. You know what I'm saying? He was getting tried. And bitch, crackers, they said they was way bigger. They was reported like people that they was ganging up. You know what I'm saying? They was talking shit. You know how it is, just talking shit. They can bitch start standing up. Ooh, I wasn't there. All I can do is read what happened. You know what I'm saying? Hear from different angles and try to make sense of the shit. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is he got 35 years, you know what I'm saying, in Texas. It's a lot of things going on right now with possibly his family and appealing it and legal representation, but that's one of the instances. The next one, like I said, Asian Rick Chow chased Cyrus Comic Bellin, a 14-year-old black child, out of his store in South Carolina and took his life by with the discharging of a firearm. Shot Jit in his back, reportedly. You know what I'm saying? Like, bitch just kill a child, bro. You know what I'm saying? They say he thought he was stealing and, whatever, man. Like, but it's not the first instance. If you when I look into Rick Child history, he don't did shit and got into shit with guns and trying bitches with pistols before. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, trying niggas before. So, at the same time, man, we just gotta know as black people, we have to know, bro. That's the biggest thing. We have to know. That don't mean like, oh no, I hate these people, I'm hating it. It's not about that. It's about the reality, because honestly, regardless of what somebody is on the outside, a motherfucker, in real life, just as a human, you still gotta look at a person just, what I'm saying, what it is, heart to heart, and you know what I'm saying, and call it what you see it, you know what I'm saying. Still look at a bitch heart and judge off the intentions of their heart, because they gonna manifest. Judge off their action, well, really more the action than what happened from their heart. You know what I'm saying? But, it's a history of the crackers, you know what I'm saying, with the trying niggas, you know what I'm saying, way back to, you talking about Roman Greco time, you know what I'm saying? So, when it comes compared to Eastern African kingdoms and writings and history. So this is nothing new. This is just more public examples that get that outburst and that reaction, just to kind of show you that this shit is ongoing. And I know some people think like, man, we just want to stop. We cool. We all. It's not. I don't mean individually. You might not know somebody like, oh man, they straight. They might be, because honestly, a lot of the whites are deceived. You know what I'm saying? I kind of feel bad for white society in a way, because they've been puffed up, you know what I'm saying, vainly through a falsified scope, you know what I'm saying, a falsified view, because all this shit they got was from like thieving and robbery, you know what I'm saying, and swindling people, and they're not paying back what they did. They're not trying to make it right. They're just still exploiting to this day. To this very day, you ain't got to go back like hundreds of thousands of years. It's right now, right? What's going on in real life, you know what I'm saying? So just from that alone, like people always feel short and try like when it comes to blacks. So I feel sorry for them because a lot of they bubbles getting busted to really see now because of the internet and so many people coming out like, damn, they not what they thought they were. They really thought they was taught they was something else, but they really not like that. They were just taught to carry the ideology on and carry the value system on and the ideas on. But then that shit in real life, you gotta do slimy, slick shit, and you're doing shit to keep motherfuckers bottled up and keep using them. You know what I'm saying? So these examples are showing that the crackers don't fuck with y'all, man. Niggas need to get it in their brain, bro. You know what I'm saying? To do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Just have a plan, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not telling nobody what to do. Just, if you gonna fuck with it, just know what it is. Know what it's gonna be. Like, to keep complaining on like we're gonna do this and that. The cracker ain't gonna. You can do whatever. You can do the voting shit. You can put people in there. Bitch don't matter. Bitch don't matter. It's been proven. I ain't gotta say, well, why you thinking like that? It's been proven. Shit don't matter, bro. Cracker gonna still try you. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what it is, bitch. This shit is spiritual, bro. This ain't this no political shit. This ain't no like I hate you because your skin. This shit's spiritual, dog. This shit's spiritual. You know what I'm saying? Like it say in the Bible, talk about the Grecians. You know what I'm saying? When they basically, you know what I'm saying, Greece, you know, they go up against Zion's son. You know what I'm saying? In the book of Zechariah. You know what I'm saying? Go look at that. Greece versus Zion's son. Mount Zion is Ethiopia. We know that from Psalms 87. So what that represents is the black seed. We know what Greece represents. You know, the first people was brown everywhere, but what it publicly represents from the people of the cold, the Greece on record, that's, you know what I'm saying, that's a cracker. So this shit been going on. They just talking about it right there in the book of Zechariah, you know what I'm saying? The Old Testament and the Bible right now. You know what I'm saying? So y'all need to get it in your head, man, and know what it is and move accordingly, you know what I'm saying? Like, so he chased Jit down. Also then Nolan Wells, like I said, Nolan Wells, his passing is still under heavy investigation as to what really occurred as he was out there with a gang of crackers on July 4th on a July 4th boat trip, it seems. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like, I want, you know, it depends on how you raised, really, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know, bitch, I'm from Lucille, 50th and Sly, you know what I'm saying, the 80s and the 90s, so foundation-wise, you know what I'm saying, like, it's just a different mentality, you know, bitch, you out there a bunch of crackers, bitch, you better know what it is, you better have your wallet game, what that cracker might try, you might have to have something on you, you know what I'm saying, but, I don't know, to each his own, you just gotta know what you're dealing with, bro. I'm not here to tell nobody what to do, how to do it. You just gotta know what you're dealing with. If you can rock with it, you can rock with it. It's on you. It's your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's still going on with that. You know what I'm saying? Like this story, actually, that story too is familiar. It's familiar with other scenarios mirroring this with like one black person with a bunch of white people and the black end up just dead. You know what I'm saying? You really don't see that shit all the way around. Like, at least I don't know about it. Like, it's like a bunch of black and it's one white and the white end up dead like over and over. You just don't see it. Like, I don't know that. If somebody know about that shit, please let me know. Like, tell me about I be hearing about a lot of this shit all the way around. You know what I'm saying? So the results of the initial autopsy dealing with Nolan Wells conducted by the state medical examiner's office are still pending at the moment I looked into it, which was a couple of days ago, you know what I'm saying? And the independent autopsy, which was commissioned with the aid of civil rights attorney Ben Crump, still seemingly has some unanswered questions from when I looked into it as well. So that's something that's ongoing. What the fact is, though, again, what it represents, just the imagery and the energy. You got one nigga out there with a bunch of crackers and a nigga gone. And the cracker like, bitch, if you look at them crackers' ties and the relation they got power in their families and connections. So again, it might be like, man, why you gotta look at it like that? I have reason to. History tells me to look at it like this, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Bitch ain't, until it's proven otherwise, bitch, we got so many cases. I tell people like, man, why don't you, you can't tell me one reason to trust this shit. I can give you a zillion reasons not to trust this shit. You can't give me one solid reason why to trust this shit. But I can give you a plethora of reasons why, like real shit, not just no rationalized shit in my mind, like 1 + 1 = 2 out in the open shit. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. We're gonna look at it. Bottom line, crackers and others don't fuck with niggas like that. They don't. You know what I'm saying? And I'm speaking in relation to collectively. You know what I'm saying? Black people got to take this shit seriously and know the reality of our world again and move accordingly. It is fucked up that niggas can't do certain things. We're just human beings too. You just want to do certain things like any other human being. We have a heart and a mind. So we want to do certain things to be able to move freely, but we can't. And we got ourselves into this. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can take our power back and we can cripple a lot of industries that are being used against us to keep us locked into the slave mentality. You know what I'm saying? We got to change our interests You change your interests by changing your values. Again, this is the way to approach it. This is the way to do it. Change what you value. You know what I'm saying? Shit just flip over and overnight get flipped on his head. You know what I'm saying? No fuck shit, boy. Let me put this shit, man. Let me put this shit straight. Yeah. So also another thing was been going on too. I looked into this whole issue with Dr. Fauci. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Fauci was up on Capitol Hill recently. That they said reportedly this bitch done pleaded the fifth like 111 times. This shit is comical, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a little while ago, he was telling bitches they gotta get the vaccine. Like, you know, I'm not gonna get into it because I'm not trying to ridicule anybody. All the real niggas know what was going on from day one with that shit. That's all I'm gonna say. All the real niggas, not the other people, not just black people, the real niggas, not whatever people, the real niggas know, they been knew from day one what was going on with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Fake ass shit came up, the motherfuckers talking to go get a motherfucker shot. Bitches was falling out, bitches passing away in hospital, they loved ones can't see them, they hyping up the numbers time, bitches were passing in other ways, like, and they was attributing that, oh, they died because of COVID-19. Bitch, Cracker was lying, bitch. Cracker been lying. You know what I'm saying? Cracker been lying. So now he was pumping that shit. They showed him on the cover of a magazine. My boy was getting bread. Some of the bitches was so goddamn scared they believed they would have got it. So now they bring him up there. They was working against him, working with him that shit. Now they bring him up there just to try him out in the open, make him take the fall. But them crackers all had something to do, man. Everybody knows what's going on. That shit was about money, man. Go study what happened here, man. Biggest money movement ever, man, in our lifetime. Go see what happened. You know what I'm saying? So. Now he pleading the fifth, ain't answering nothing. Bitches already talking. That's fucked up, man. Bitch, bitch? If you got any kind of sense, you would have know. Like, bitch, I seen this shit before. Who you believe these motherfuckers? Like, again, you actually trust what they say. How they say you don't have no proof of your own. You just getting the shit from media, mass media, and you just roll with that shit like that. Cracker played you, boy. Cracker been playing people. That's just what it is, man. Like, yeah, you do it again, bringing it to the mind of orchestrator. They know they can play you. They made you. They gave you your thoughts and your feelings and your lifestyle. Your style of living is based on certain principles. It ain't even nothing personal. You're based on certain pillars and principles and values. They know it because they created how they relate to each other. They know these spirits. They're working with these spirits. You following an ideology thinking it's straight. It's a way of living. It's an unlimited way to live. We're living a particular way of living, which we're all charged guilty with the shit we do day to day. So all of us get what we're supposed to get. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? So this is just the reality of what it is. So and now they got them up there. The Cracker played everybody for some ducks, man. They know people, again, they know the people are ducks. If you look into the mind of the orchestrator, you know what I'm saying, they pick their side. It's a struggle, an ancient struggle between, it's a duality of forces, bro. Some people use the words, the connotation of good and bad. You know, we have positive and negative. Some people say, wickedness and righteousness. All of these words, whatever people want to use, it's a two sides, it's a duality of battle. And it lies within the heart of what's going on in your soul because you have a conscience inside of you that know the real and righteous. And you know when you're doing fuck shit. You know when you're doing your own conniving shit. You just do it. It's normalized, so people got to do it a lot of time. They feel they have to do it because they're in a world full of sharks. See, like, I can't be doing this good, cool shit in a world full of sharks. Bitch, I'm going to get ate up, and I get that. So it's important what you, the environment you create for yourself with your people around you. But, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, they trying you, bro. They know what you gonna do. They made you. They gave you your thoughts. Their agenda is to rule and keep you under thumb so they can keep propagating their lust and vanity. Because what's this the thing? Once a human being recognizes consciously, they only have so much physical time to be in this existence as we know it. And they look around, bitches here to have pleasures and indulge in the most whatever kind of shit they can imagine. That's why it's called a vain imagination. That's why that jargon is used in the scripture. Vain imagination. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So they designed this shit, and you playing you like ducks. Now the cracker Dr. Fauci on Capitol Hill, pleaded fifth time. My lawyer said, and they making a show out of do like, what's in front of you? What color is the rug? My lawyer said, under consider my lawyer, I'm not. I say there's a plea or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I invoked or something. Man, it's just regular, man. These people are not like sophisticated. or smart. This is just regular shit going on. People just got suits and ties and dresses on and business suits. That's all. This shit regular. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop looking at this shit more for what it is. People are just using dark forces to rule your life. It's weak and cowardly alone. You can't respect wickedness. You give that shit respect. It can be dangerous, so you gotta always respect danger, but you can't give that shit respect. It's coming from a place of manipulation, exploitation, and control. So, bitch, I know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let a bitch try you like that. Stand up for yourself. I also want to talk about off of that, you know, so you can play some ways to techniques, man, techniques of devanitization, because you got to devanitize your mind. Like, saying all of this and bringing people up to speed, dog. Like, you can just sit back and just hope for somebody to save you and just hope shit won't change. You can just go for your vain goals you've been aiming to do your whole life, to do this or that. You can just hope it to stay the same, but from the way the world's shaping up, this shit is changing fast and rapidly. And if you don't pay attention, like the scriptures say, those that watch on the watchtower, they will see and know what to do. If you're not paying attention, you got this bitch sleep. You know what I'm saying? Because you dream, you caught up in a dream.